Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Civic Reset Podcast. This is our fourth episode, and today we're interviewing Luke Hillman. Luke Hillman is someone that we found on TikTok and Instagram, and he's been posting a lot of critiques about car-centric planning and poor urbanism. And we thought it would be great to have him on because he's really been someone who's been bringing a lot of energy into the urban planning and zoning space, something that we don't really see very often. So we hope that you guys enjoy the interview and let us know what you think.
Scrolling through the thing and I saw your TikToks and I thought they were hilarious. And
Yeah,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. And it was like you were talking about the exact same things that we were. So it was definitely good.
Absolutely. It's such an important concept that people really just overlook. I feel like it's such an underrated niche too. People look at the bigger picture of like economy and just everything else, but no one really attributes any of their problems to zoning and
Yeah,
parking
yeah.
minimums and just the fact that this literally plays the biggest role in our environment. So I just who'd have thought, screaming at parking lots would have got this far.
Yeah. I think that's what I mean, I guess moving out there because I'm home right now for the holidays and I'm in the like suburbs of Chicago and coming like from out here because I'm not by the city, coming from out here, like middle of nowhere in the woods to
Yeah.
seeing what it's like to live in a walkable place and not have to drive everywhere, like completely changed my perspective and worldview on that and opened my eyes to zoning, I would say.
I keep saying it, it's not until you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Until you see real infrastructure that works for people, you never really can grasp it. And that's honestly why I started making these videos because I know like so many Americans have never been out of the country, have never been
Yeah.
out of their hometown, have never been exposed to decent infrastructure that, allows you to literally be free. I feel like that's a big thing to nowadays because people are like, oh, freedom, 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 cars are freedom. I'm like, Doc, the have you looked at freedom? Like it's like, dude,
Yeah.
it's very freeing to be able to just take a walk outside to your local grocery store, and it's freedom to be able to bike without insurance.
Yeah.
So being able to be free is, a concept that, is definitely, I think, this is freedom. This is
Yeah.
real freedom. So.
And I guess that, like, what was that eye-opening experience for you? What did you see maybe that made you get into this?
So it's actually funny you say that. I started um, getting more interested in this kind of concept of sustainability and like walkable infrastructure through not just bikes. I'm sure you know not just bikes. Um, I saw one of his videos on Strodes, and dude, my whole world was like, oh my God. Like I grew up in South Florida, right?
Right,
And
okay.
if you go anywhere in South Florida west of 95, it's just 8-lane roads everywhere. No bike lanes that are protected, strip mall hell, corporate hellscape. It's just like I thought it was normal. That's the thing. That's why I really wanted to make content like this because people just think it's normal and it can't be changed. And I know that there's so many people who feel the same way and or even don't realize that they feel the same way because they've never been exposed to it. They've never had
Right.
that eye-opening like, oh my God, this is objectively better. For health, for safety, for your children. It's like it's such a no-brainer. And I went to um, Portugal a couple months ago and I worked on a vineyard because I was having like a little quarter life crash out. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing and
Yeah.
I gotta travel before I die. And so I just booked a flight to Portugal, and Portugal is not the richest country in Europe by any stretch of the imagination. But when you look at their basic infrastructure regarding bike lanes and e-bike, e-ride share, and the trams and the bus system and the subway system, I was so upset with America because like I'm what really pissed me off, like I was going from Lisbon to the Algarve, which is like a 3.5 hour thing, right? And to get anywhere in Florida or America that's 3.5 hours away, you're either driving or you're you're flying, right?
Yeah.
And dude, there was buses going every like hour, and it was 13 euros to get from a 3 hour ride was 13 euros. And these buses are 2025 Mercedes-Benz charter buses. And
Wow.
I'm like, dog, like I'm looking at the GDP of Florida and the GDP of Portugal. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Like it's just mind-boggling to see the in it, like just you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I saw one of your recent posts. You had called a bus stop. I think it was in Palm Beach or something, like a
Mhm.
humiliation ritual, right? It's just
Oh,
a sign
dude,
in the middle of the road. There's nothing around it. God knows
it
how long you're
is
waiting. Yeah.
it's extreme public humiliation. And growing up in Florida, I've always I haven't even the bus is not even like an option. Literally not even an option because it's always 30 minutes late. It's never on time. You have to still pay for it. I saw this bus like 2 days ago, and the tires were bald. And I'm like looking at this, I'm like, dude, we must hate our people. Like these
Yeah.
people are
Yeah.
just trying to exist, literally just trying to exist. Like you can't exist in America, especially Florida, without a car, right? And it's it just makes me so upset because it's like, all right, who's benefiting from this? It's fucking oil companies. It's big box stores because they rely on um, car-centric design. Because the thing is, local businesses rely on food traffic or foot traffic, and big corporations, they rely on the brand name, the brand recognition. So when you eliminate the foot traffic from an area, you're indirectly killing small businesses because nobody wants to walk around a strip center and schmooze and schmie around and like look
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
other um things to do. It's like you're not going to a public strip center, right? And
Yeah.
being like, "Ooh, let's go to the little like," you know what I mean? You're going there
Yeah.
and you're going right back to your car.
Right.
No,
So
every
it's
time
like,
I pass some of these strip malls, like when I'm back here, I don't even know what they're used for. Like I can't remember the last time I've ever seen someone walking in. It's like you'll see the one like shady massage parlor, then
yeah.
maybe like an ice cream store, and besides that, pretty much nothing. And I find it really interesting this things you're saying about the trains and the buses in Portugal, because even on a local level, when I spent a lot of time this summer in Denmark, and I mean, it's a
Mm,
different world. Like you don't have
yeah.
to, like they don't even have Ubers. You don't even
They don't
have
need
to,
them.
yeah, you don't have to drive anywhere. You can bike. There's literally at least two giant bike lanes on every street, and
Yeah.
you'll see so many people on bikes. It's ridiculous. It's a lot better and a lot freeing.
It's
And we were
objectively, it's objectively the correct way to design infrastructure. And we've done the experiment with cars, we've done the experiment. Like, bro, like if you look at um um America back in the day, it was walkable and we bulldozed it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you look at like, dude, everywhere. It's like Kansas City. Like if you go on the subreddit, fuck cars, there's literally before and after of like
Yeah.
the highway project of like 1967 and like Eisenhower and his influence on why that became a thing. And it's like, dude, like there's no way we just bulldoze neighborhoods. We bulldoze neighborhoods
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
sake of the oil executives. So it's like make America great again, motherfucker. Look at what it was.
Right. Right.
So sorry for being so vulgar, but like, oh
No,
my
yeah.
No,
God.
no, of course. We actually a couple blocks from my house. I live in Astoria, Queens. It's like a borough in New York.
Hmm.
And a couple blocks away from me, there was a neighborhood completely bulldozed to build the Triborough Bridge. And this
Yeah.
was, I think, the 19, I want to say 50s or 60s, like Robert Moses and all or and all of that stuff just gone. Like everything that used to be there is completely gone. It's like
Yeah.
uh f- maybe what 8 lane highway and then two service roads on the side of it. So it's just a massive, massive just splotch gone.
It's so bad for health and like just mental health. Like if you engineer the enjoyment of being outside, no one's gonna go outside.
Right.
So it's like, and also it's like healthy, man. Like people need to walk. People need to be. People need to see their neighbors. Like people are in America, especially, are dying for community, dying for their neighbors. Like and we just push them out. We push them away, and it's objectively wrong. And
Yeah. There's so many kids, like especially with the younger generations, that are just completely lacking any sense of community. And that's why a lot of them are going to the internet, I think, and doing questionable things and getting involved in questionable groups just because they're looking
yeah,
for someone to feel um, connected with, I guess, because they're lacking
exactly.
that. Yeah, and it was funny because we made a TikTok that was talking about the highways, and we were talking about how the automotive industry makes $1.2 trillion in profits per year. So
I don't even
it's
want to hear
ridiculous.
that. I don't even want to hear
Yeah.
that.
And,
Like, oh
and
my
and and
God.
and everyone in the comments, like you were saying, was like there was a lot of people advocating, like, well, this is how we want to live. Like cars give us the freedom. And yeah, there's really no way to emphasize. I don't know how to emphasize it to them. Like,
Well, it's these people have never experienced anything else. So
yeah,
it's like, of course they're going to defend what they've always been accustomed to. It's like they have no thing to compare it to. And I think like what is it like maybe 20% of Americans have a passport, and then like another 20% of those people actually use
is
it.
that
So
true?
it's some crazy.
Wow.
I'm not. Don't quote me on that, but
Yeah,
like
but
it's some crazy
wow.
number that like it's like, oh my God, we got to get out there, guys. We got to get out there.
Yeah. I used to know a guy who actually told me that he would purposely never leave America, like ever, not even on vacation. And I asked him why, and he was like, "Oh, because it would be disloyal, like to leave my country." And I was like,
God,
"It's
it's like it's so brain rot
yeah,
propaganda, man. It's
yeah."
insane.
So, how did you get into making the social media posts and like taking it from having these thoughts and this awakening to getting online and trying to do something about it?
So, like I said, I started with not just bikes, and I really love the videos. But the thing is, it's really, really dense material, And I've noticed that a lot of people who are in this space with urbanism are very dense. It's incredible information, and it all makes sense, right? But it's not triggering anyone. It's not making anyone feel anything. It's
Yeah,
not like you can listen to it casually. It's like you have to really pay attention to these people sometimes. So I just wanted to take the same message and make it blatantly obvious and easy to digest for everybody, because it's like I really honestly I want to appeal to the people on the right wing too, because
yeah,
the thing is they understand the problem too, but they just don't know where to put the why. And when
yeah,
you start, like, I just really wanted to start making it not a left and a right thing, but more of just like this is what is objectively better for us as people, and we are all
yeah.
people. And there's not one American that would oppose high-speed rail. I mean, maybe there is because they're stupid, but like for the majority of things, like people want decent infrastructure. Like we are the richest nation in the world, and we have objectively the worst public transportation. And people look at that and look at China and look at Europe and look at Brazil. I mean, just like countries that are not even like Portugal, poor country. It's not a rich country, and
Yeah.
they're doing it objectively better. So it's like, what are we doing with our money? Like, really, what are we doing with our money? And back to your question of how I got into it, um, I got pissed off. I got pissed off at the world, and I got pissed off at not being able to be outside comfortably if you're west of 95, west of the
Yeah.
Turnpike or anything like that. It's literally just gated communities and strip malls. And it's not it's not a pleasant environment to be in, especially if you don't own a car. And it's like I'm looking at like these people who are just trying to exist and be, and they're standing in the beating sun for like over 30 minutes, and they don't have covering. I'm like, dog, that's the cheapest thing to fix. Boom, done.
Yeah.
Like, get it done. You know what I mean? It's like there's no reason that people should be baking in the sun just to get to work. And the thing is, especially in public transport in South Florida, it stops at like I think 10 o'clock, right? So if you get like I
Yeah.
work at a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
You get to work, you can't get back. So it's like, what what is this? Like you're making a system that is almost designed to bully you into getting a car and bullying you to spend insurance money, bullying you for car maintenance, flat tire, this, that, whatever. Why do you see so many tire shops everywhere? It's like it's it it's I don't know.
Yeah. I was actually wondering because I've been to South Florida a couple times. I have some friends that live down there. Why is it like it'll be like a gated community and then just streets and another gated community? Like, well, do you know why it's like that?
We have implemented Euclidean single-use zoning
Uh,
everywhere in Florida. So essentially, there's blocks and plots of land. If you look at like the zoning codes and the zoning maps of South Florida, there's only industrial in one area. There's only residential in one area. And in those residential areas, you can't
mhm.
even build mixed use. You have to build single family homes. So naturally, when you're taking a big space and you're only designating a quarter of it to only housing and only shopping, you're naturally going to make traffic. You're creating traffic because all these people need to get over here all the time because this is where they get food. This is where they live. So naturally, you're inducing traffic. And then, they implemented that. They didn't even have like these really, really wide roads, right? And then eventually people are like, "Oh, there's so much traffic. There's so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
traffic. Add a lane. Add a lane." And then that literally induces more traffic. It makes the problem worse. So it's a thing that just it's a circular thing that people don't understand the root. But once you explain to people in very obvious terms, like this is not right,
Yeah.
people are gonna be like, yeah, you're right. That's not right. You know? And but yeah, so um the reason why it's all zoning. It's
It
zoning.
really is. Yeah.
Like I'm looking at like these apartment complexes that they build, right? And I'm thinking like, dude, if you added if you took out one or two or three of the bottom floor apartments, put like a little grocer in there, little like cafe, small cafe, you would decrease so much traffic because people are just going downstairs to get their coffee, going downstairs to get, a baguette or whatever, and then it's like there's like this funny it's like a meme of like trying to recreate the European experience in America. And it's like, you're sipping a coffee next to 10 lanes of traffic and like, you know, five guys signs. It's like that. It's not the same. It's
Yeah.
like it's wild.
And I think the craziest part is that it keeps happening still. I mean, everyone is just expanding outwards. I
Yeah.
was looking at a map or a Google Earth of Florida, and from the satellite view, you could see it's just like a sea of houses. You
Yeah.
see like little industrial avenues or whatever, but that's about it. And it's just like you could drop a pin on anywhere in Florida, and if you don't look at the trees, it could be anywhere in the country. Like you have no idea where you are. It's ridiculous.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. And honestly, that's one of the biggest things that I'm kind of against. It's like we've kind of lost our kind of identity with like culture. Like, different parts of Florida, different parts of America, they have different cultures. And when you implement zoning laws and parking minimums that literally force the environment to all look the same, it's like, dog, like there's no differentiation between anything. It's like I think I made a video in Alabama because, dude, oh my God, Alabama is a hellscape of just corporate nonsense, okay? And I made a video saying, guess where I am right now? And it's like you have people saying, oh, you're in Arkansas, oh, you're in Florida, oh, you're in God knows where. It's like, no, it's like it's all the same. It's all the same.
I don't know if
So
you've seen the GeoGuessr game, right?
oh, I love him.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
him. I
And
love
my
him.
friend and I play every night. We just advanced to Silver One, I think, last week,
Yeah.
and we're playing, and we get this drop in America, and it's this like massive 4-lane road. There's
Yeah.
stores on every side, and we're looking for something, but everything's just a Chipotle, a Panda Express. You have
Yeah.
no idea. The only way we found out was like zooming in on the license plate and trying to make out the colors of the car. Like that's all you could do. It's insane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so backwards and like You wonder, it's like, dude, you wonder why kids don't play outside anymore. It's like, look at the environment that you created for the kids, dude.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and there's no third spaces either. It's like, there's no, like, dog, like my local park in Delray Beach, Veterans Park. Um, I used to go there and just chill, right? Because it's a park and it's beautiful. They recently just got rid of all of the backing to all the benches because of the homeless problem. And
Yeah.
there is a homeless problem, but like, do you think that's the appropriate way to address it? Like, like, oh, just no benches for anyone. We solved it. Like, bro, it's so backwards and it makes no sense.
Yeah, and actually the food thing with the Panda Express, the Chipotle thing, that's what I originally really liked about your content. It's like there were some people talking about zoning and housing, but you were also talking about the food, and I know you made a video, you were like, there's like a $30 salad at Just Salad.
Yeah,
And that was really funny to me because it's so true. And honestly, it's not good food. I mean, it doesn't taste good, it's not fresh.
yeah.
And it just keeps expanding. It's like the more and more that these strip malls grow and we zone them into existence, it just continues. And our options of food just keep spiraling downwards, and we're lacking really badly.
Exactly. And the thing is,
Yeah,
it's like we push out local food. Like like where are you going to get local food, right? Green
right.
markets,
Yeah,
food trucks, you know, worker cooperatives and like, like small farms. So you have to think about like if you live, especially in Florida, because that's just what I know. Um, if you live east, all of the agricultural is zoned 30 minutes west. So even if you did want to go to your local farmers market, it's like a half an hour drive as opposed to like the Publix that's 2 minutes away, right? So first of all, we've zoned it out of existence.
right.
Food trucks are pushed to the curb all the time because you have um, like restaurants who will not allow any other competition within a certain amount of like a 2 mile radius. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, like they implement like I don't know what it's called, but essentially you can't open a food truck within like a certain footage of an existing restaurant that is like, like brick and mortar, right?
Yeah.
And so then you naturally have these food trucks literally in desolate parking lots and on the side of roads where there's no foot traffic. So you're basically saying, "Oh yeah, it's capitalism. It's so easy to like start a business and da 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 da, motherfucker, it's not. It's
Yeah.
so hard to like actually start like any kind of like sole proprietorship because the land is so expensive and you have all the commercial land being sucked up by Panda Express and Chick-fil-A. And there's limited amount of commercial land and most of it is dedicated to parking lots.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
We
like,
uh we were just in Long Island City a couple weeks ago, right before winter break,
yeah.
and I mean, there's a lot of towers going up. They've been going up for a while now, since before
Mm,
COVID, and there's almost no retail at the bottom of them, right? So there are very few places where these stores could actually rent. And
mm.
since there's so few, I mean, the market's just insanely high. So to enter, the only people you have really bidding is just Dunkin' Donuts, like Checkers, or whatever fast food, whatever like
Exactly.
slot.
Anyone with leverage,
Right, exactly. So all of the small stores are just gone. And Farida and I were walking around. I mean, like there are buildings that could easily fit 1,000 people, but you don't see a single soul on the sidewalk. Everyone's
Dude,
either at work in Manhattan or they're just inside, right? Because there's nothing to do outside. And
exactly.
then we had gone to Astoria at a different point, completely different like vibe, just 100% different. There's little stores everywhere. I think maybe like less than 10%, less than 5% are actual chains.
Mm.
So everyone's walking around, everyone's doing something. There are parks, and
It's
it,
just a beautiful fucking thing
yeah,
to
it feels like a
experience.
neighborhood. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
just like a place where humans are kept to live in.
It's a place for humans.
Right,
It's a
right.
place for humans. Like I did a video on Seaside, Florida. Seaside, Florida is a master planned community that's a private project in the Panhandle, right on Highway 30A, and in Walton County.
Okay.
And essentially, what they did is that these rich people who were like, "This is disgusting," and they literally bought a big ass plot of land and created a walkable community out of like for their own private interests. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, dog, if you have the only implementation of walkability is a private venture where people have to build an entire commute like from scratch to have this, I'm like, dog, you tell me why the prices over there are so expensive.
Yeah.
People want to be outside. People want to look at other people walking in and out of things. People
We
want to
uh
look. It's,
we interviewed a guy
Yeah.
the last episode of the podcast we did. His name's Austin Tunnel. I don't know if
Mm,
you've heard of him. He's like really popular on Twitter recently because of his
mm.
project. And it's a community called Townsend. So it's like a walkable courtyard centered neighborhood, and it's
Yeah.
a private construction in I think it's Edmond, right, Freed? Something like that.
Yeah, Edmond,
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Very
Edmond,
random,
Oklahoma.
but
Yeah.
People need
For
it. They
most
need it
people,
there. They need
right,
it
right.
there.
yeah.
For most people, it'd be considered the middle of nowhere, but he's building like a solid neighborhood with offices, retail space. I think it was like 18 townhomes or something like that.
No, it's actually sick. Like for the middle of Oklahoma. I mean, apparently the town Edmond is like the 20th biggest city in America. I had no idea. But
Wow.
outside of it, he's building there's a bunch of townhomes and there's 30 local businesses that have already made plans to be in there and the whole thing's walkable with courtyard blocks in the backyard. And then he's making even like he's trying to build community. He has like a office space where you can rent out like a cubicle and you have a membership and they have like a sauna and cold plunge in the office and like all this really sick stuff to try to build a community there. And that project is so awesome.
Yeah. And I think you said it earlier. It's like, it seems like it's in the middle of nowhere, but like once you build something like that, it
Yeah.
becomes somewhere, you know? It
Yeah.
Right.
becomes a place that people want to go and want to visit. And it's like, dude, look at the most visited touristy places in America. You have Aspen, Colorado, you have Vail, you have, Seaside, Florida, you have Carmel, California, Del Mar, California, New York City.
Of
Like
course.
they all have this urbanist, people-focused vibe. And it's so obvious to people who are rich and want to be in places because it's objectively better. And that's why it gets so expensive is because you have infrastructure for people. A lot of people are going to want that. And when you have induced demand, naturally the prices go up. So it's a simple fix. It really is a simple fix. I feel like, just reform zoning and reform parking minimums because if you reform those two things, you have developers who can't build. Developers want to build, right? That's what they do. So if you make it so that they can build denser and more mixed use, they're going to make more money off of it because it's in their interest to build more housing. You know what I mean? So if you allow them to, one, you're going to be helping the developers, and then two, you're going to be helping people. And this government overreach of what you can and can't build and where you can and can't build it is just so backwards. And like, don't get me wrong, I think the government should, like that's the reason we have zoning is because we don't have fucking, you know, like factories that are producing
Yeah,
smoke
yeah.
right next to, you know what I mean? Obviously, like,
Yeah, yeah.
duh. But like, duh, like this is
Yeah.
objectively better, you know? Like,
Yeah. I think mixed use is so important because
yeah.
like Andrew was saying, like in Long Island City, there's no regulations, which is it's like good and bad. It's good in the sense that a lot comes out of it. There's a lot more units, and obviously America needs a lot more housing. There's a shortage. But at the same time, they're not putting the proper infrastructure to have those stores and those anchor places that people go in the neighborhood at the ground level. And
Mm.
if there's a way to kind of let developers incentivize developers to build kind of however they want, but also implement certain things like you have to, dedicate a couple local ground floor units to bodegas or something like that.
Exactly. Like
Then,
incentivizing small
yeah,
businesses. Like
yeah,
we'll give you a tax break if you put like small businesses that are under like, $20 million in cap. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
Just simple things like that. Like it literally is just a matter of tax incentives.
And the
And
funny thing about that is I can't imagine anyone that would say we were actually talking the Austin guy, we were talking with him about this too. Like, and we kind of came to the conclusion, like, I can't think of anyone that would be like, no, I don't want small businesses in my neighborhood. Like, left or right or regardless of politics, it's shocking that there's not more of it because both sides want small businesses, but there's not like there are a lot of small businesses, but the incentives aren't really there. Like I think
Yeah.
it's what Angela, what's the percentage of restaurants that don't make it in New York? Do you know?
I think it's above 50%. I think it's around
It's
80.
so
I'll say
high.
80.
It's so high.
Yeah.
It's like every time you do open a small local restaurant, it's like I mean I've seen it a year later. There's a different one there, and then a different one a year later. So it's
Mhm.
just yeah.
It just makes too much sense. And like I said, it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And when you unsee, like when you start seeing it and you look at what it could be, it just breaks your heart, man. Like honestly, like I'm looking at Florida, right? We have some of the best weather in the world, like some of the best nature in the world, like the Everglades. We have beautiful, beautiful trees everywhere. And we literally bulldoze shade trees and put up freaking palm trees, which are not even indigenous, and they don't provide any shade. And that's another thing. Shade is like one of the most important things to be outside and have like a pleasurable experience because it's like, dude, you think parking lots are helping the global heat thing? It's like dog. I'm sure you guys know the Heat Island Index,
Yeah.
or yeah, and it's like dog. It's like we're painting the ground black and we're removing the trees. You can ask any person in the world, and they know that that's not like a child who doesn't know anything, and they'll
Yeah.
be like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
There's a big difference, I feel, just like walking on a block that's lined with trees versus, I mean, I'm going to reference LIC again, just because it's like
Hmm.
we have so many gripes, I guess, to pick with it.
Yeah.
But you could walk down any block in Long Island City. I think now they may have just started putting like little saplings down, but for the
Yeah.
longest time, completely empty. It was the summer. You're getting like the light reflected off these glass structures just directly at you.
Yeah.
And then you could go to like, I don't know, Brooklyn or Astoria, and almost every block has five, six, maybe like seven, eight, however many trees, and it just feels nicer. It feels more like close. It like there's a much more intimate feeling when you're walking there. You feel like as if you're part of a community rather than just point
I
A
was
to
just
point
about to
B.
say that, dude.
Yeah,
100%. Absolutely. It just makes too much sense, man. It's like it's so sad that people don't understand what like people agree on the concepts, right? But they don't understand the why,
right.
right? And that's why I'm so heavy on the zoning and the parking minimums because if you truly think about it, like those two are like real big things
Yeah,
that like if we solve those it would just incentivize developers to like build cool, small, cool areas, And yeah. And like I'm really into like off-grid kind of community-based like food systems,
yeah,
water systems. I actually just partnered with this water company who does atmospheric water generation. And essentially what that is they take the moisture out of the air, they filter it, and they remineralize it, and it's pure alkaline water that
Interesting.
is literally forever. Like you can have like there's been these machines have been existing for like 15, 20 years and they're still not breaking. And it's such an easy concept that nobody even knows about.
yeah,
Like I haven't even
Yeah.
known about this. And then I saw him at the green market. He was like, "Oh, free water because it's like from the air." I'm like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" Meanwhile, it's the cleanest water that you can get.
right.
So,
And I
food,
think a
water,
lot more
shelter.
people, right, exactly. And a lot more people are sort of getting on board with that zoning reform or just housing reform in general. And
Yeah.
you see, I think you see like two sects of it, right? People who want to just escape the suburbs and people who want to move into the city and like, I guess, advocate in some sense for better zoning. Everyone who
Yeah.
wants to escape the suburbs is like, oh, I'm going to buy some land in Tennessee. I'm going to make a homestead. And
Yeah.
I believe me, I know a lot of those people. And then on the other end, you have people who just want to see a change in the neighborhoods that they live in now, whether it be like through rezoning. Um, so
It's
I wanted to
crazy.
ask you, like, with that increased momentum, I guess everyone's kind of feeling it just because like it's so prevalent on social media. Like you could log on and you could see a bunch of content about housing. Where do you think, or where do you see America or like communities in America in 20, 30 years?
So we're getting to a point where like like you said, every person I talk to wants to buy land and have their own homestead. And why do they want it? They want food that isn't insane. They want to be around people that they care about. And they want to live naturally. Like people want to live naturally, man. And like with this whole like the seaside thing with like the private, you know, people just building villages because they're so sick and tired of seeing the corporate nonsense everywhere. It's like, dude, like I feel that at some point we're just gonna have to like I would really like to start building pre-planned communities as well, like that have complete off-grid capability, carbon positive if not, and just circular systems that work. And people are getting a lot more in touch with water quality, a lot more in touch with food quality, microplastics, everything. And there's a big health craze in the United States that people are dying for.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is such an untapped market because I think of, I think about Tesla, right? They started with a really expensive product and then they worked their way down. And I think the same kind of concept could apply to community building. So you start with like a big, nice gated community that's like, resort style, like, similar to the things that like you see in South Florida that are like golf course communities, right? You take that concept, you get the rich people on board, and then you have the funding to get smaller pocket communities and then smaller, uh, just intentional communities. So I feel like if you sell it to people with money and they get their ideology behind it, it can really give lawmakers a chance to be like, all right, well, they like this. Maybe we should change it to be more, urbanized and, people friendly.
Yeah, and I think generally speaking, I don't want to say I'm 100% sure on this, but denser communities often give more tax revenue to local cities. So I mean, it's like a no-brainer. I know
Oh, it's like that's what the people don't understand,
yeah,
especially like the people who were like, oh, economic output, economic output, economic output. It's like, dude, look at the downtowns of every single place
yeah,
in the entire world. You'll see more economic output.
yeah. And
100%.
when we were talking with Austin, he was telling us sort of how he got the idea for his project Townsend, and he had mentioned just how hard it was to get funding and loans from the banks because nobody wanted to bankroll a project that went so far from I
The
guess from the
norm.
norm. Yeah, exactly, from the norm.
They said he had to get like 30 different investors that he would come to and ask them like for small change each. And that eventually compiled into like enough money to start the project. But that was crazy. Like he would go personally to these different people and pitch it to probably over 100 people, and then you'd get 30 people that would say yes in small amounts rather than just taking a loan. Like you just can't do that for something like that, which is insane.
Exactly. And then the financial aspect, because I've worked in real estate too, and I've kind of like underwritten like developments and stuff to see if they even are profitable or could even, perform as and stuff like that. And it's it's so like, dude, if like the numbers behind mixed use zoning just outperform any kind of like single use zoning or anything like that. So I think banks and their whole like, oh, we're not gonna fund it because it's a
Yeah, yeah.
one-off project. I'm like, dog, look at the fucking money. Like, look
Yeah.
at the money and tell me that it's not something you want to invest in. Like, people are dying for that. People
Yeah.
want that.
But then if infrastructure private equity wants to go build a data center that takes up probably what, like 10 acres, it's just snap. It's just
Yeah,
there.
boom, done.
Yeah.
Here's all of our water supply too. Take the Everglades while you're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
it's
numbers are
absolutely insane.
crazy. Those data centers are getting billions plowed into them. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, the whole AI thing is really kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked ChatGPT how long did the human race have left to live, and it told me like 250 years. I'm like, wait,
Really?
Well,
Mike,
okay.
Mike, I'm sorry, excuse me, what did you just say?
No, it's
That's crazy.
and I think before what you were saying about like the rich people wanting to make these communities, right? What we're seeing is that only let's say massive property firms are really making these developments.
Hmm.
And it's crazy because that's why everything's much more corporate, right? If you had smaller landlords, or smaller developers even, they would put much more care and much more emphasis on quality in their buildings. So we have right down the block from me, there's this new apartment complex. It's like the typical gentrifier building that you would see in New York,
Yeah.
right? Like cheap, paneled, just like why is
Dude,
it
the
there?
5/1s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not even like it's barely a 5/1.
Yeah.
But
They look
whatever.
like jails.
Yeah,
They
no,
look like
it
jails
does. It's just nondescript paneling, and I'm
with
looking
maybe
at
an accent of color
there
and
is
like an
actually.
AI
You're
generated name like Axia.
yes,
You know, it's
exactly,
like, oh
exactly.
my God, I'm gonna kill myself.
It's and I'm looking at the rents, and it's 3,000 for a one bedroom in Astoria. Like
Yeah.
10 years ago, I think I saw some sort of post that said rents used to be like 1,500 in
Yeah.
Astoria, but I mean, these developers, they come in and honestly, this isn't a bad thing, but it's just to the degree that it is, their only motive is profit, right?
Yeah.
With smaller developers or even landlords, developers who are living in the buildings, it's much more
Hmm.
focused on like providing
Livability.
a good livability, right? Providing a good experience. And that's just like going out the window, even in city councils.
It's so crazy because it's like the affordable housing thing is such an easy fix. It's like if you look at Vienna, Vienna does an incredible example of that. So 60% of their housing is publicly owned and rent regulated and rent controlled. So essentially, all of like those buildings have been paid off for years, years and years and years. They've been paid off just because they've been refinanced by their own in-house funding, lending supply, lending lenders, and then all of that rent that they're still collecting, even though it's reduced rent and regulated, it's all profit,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
profit, and all of that profit goes right back into the community. And in turn, what that does is it makes the private um, sector of housing, it forces them to compete for pricing.
Right.
So it's like you can't charge $2,000 for a studio when there's a beautifully public owned studio for $600. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like you have to lower your price in order to even compete. So it's like just simple things that like kind of make too much sense that people just don't understand how those could play into America because everything's private, everything's private, privatized, privatized, privatized.
Right.
I'm like, cool, like at what point are you gonna look around and be like, all right, this shit's fucked? You know, like we gotta do something about it.
I
So
think people are starting to, I mean, barely in New York, right? And that's why I think
it's
Zoran
all the
got so
illegal
much.
immigrants' fault.
Yeah,
It's
of
like,
course, and
oh my fucking
everyone
God.
just blames pick something out of the bag and blame it, right? And then you
Yeah,
just stick with that. But
literally.
I mean, we were looking at Zoran's campaign from when he first like really started, and a lot of his momentum, right, was just talking about housing. That's what got people interested in him. And I
Yeah.
mean, I guess we'll see how
Very
it goes.
popular opinion.
Yeah, we're 6 days into his mayorship, but I guess we'll see how it goes, right? That momentum hasn't really been felt before, so
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, and I'm so curious to see how other people are going to start to pick up on the tailwinds of that because what Angelo said is true. Like, I think a lot of young people were interested in his campaign because he was so focused on housing.
Mm.
Because it's like it's gotten to a point where like, yeah, everyone complains about New York rent, like it's obviously bad. But the past few years, it's like every month there's a new record high. Like every month, it's
Yeah.
insane. Like in
It's
Manhattan,
unsustainable
yeah, no, it's I don't know what's
in the
going to happen.
purest
Like.
sense, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I think the numbers are, I think an average studio in Manhattan is like averaging $4,500 a month for a studio. And it's not like, when you're imagining that, it's not like a particularly nice studio either. So it's just, it keeps getting more and more
Like, and
ridiculous.
you wonder why there's homeless people. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
it's like no way that like people are so dense to not understand that people need to live.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. People need to live. It's like it's literally it's also cheaper to build affordable housing and to house the homeless than to even keep them on the street. It's literally less expensive than
Yeah,
all of the
and
social programs that we have for homeless people right
Yeah.
now. It's like,
we were looking at NYCHA actually before we decided to go down the urbanism route with Civic
yeah,
Reset. we had started seeing just like conditions of public housing in New York City.
Mm.
And looking at all the money that they make, and obviously they've had like 1,000 corruption scandals, who's skimming money, who's just like wherever the money's going, right?
Yeah.
But you look at these buildings, they're falling apart, and they're very effective in that they provide a place for lower income people to live. But the way the cities just manage them, like it could have been like Vienna, but instead we just have like glorified city-owned slums, basically, the
I'm
majority of
saying
them.
it's like we just have Section 8 blocks
Yeah,
that are just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Ah, like you're not, this is not helping."
no,
Like, yeah, they're housed, but they're breathing in mold,
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
you
And
know?
there's no, I mean, obviously, if you look at any of the buildings, that there are no retail in the actual complexes, the affordable housing areas.
Yeah.
So you have to walk a couple blocks, and
That's
then
true.
for all of those blocks, all you'll see is just like a bodega or something like that. Like the city doesn't put any emphasis on generating economic growth or economic development in the area. It's more just like we're gonna dump you here, and then good luck.
And that's
Yeah, and then they
honestly like I feel like that argument right there is something that we need to really double down on because when you're talking to right-wing people and it's like just conservatives in general, it's like they don't want to subscribe to the help everyone kind of thing. Like they don't care if it houses people and helps people. They care if it makes money.
yeah.
And that's the thing that I really, really, really want to emphasize to my conservative followers because it's more money for you. It's more money for you. And
Yeah.
at the same time, we're helping people. So it's like, you know, a lot of liberals like myself tried like they're like, oh, but free healthcare would be like such a much better thing for like the people's health. I'm like, motherfucker, it's cheaper.
Right.
That's what you
Yeah.
have to keep telling these people because they don't
Yeah.
subscribe to the empathy. They subscribe to the, all right, what's the bottom line of
I
like the
saw
Yeah.
monetary thing?
the other day I was watching a documentary on Rudy Giuliani when he was mayor of New York City.
Yeah.
And I think his like his group had found a statistic that was like for every dollar spent on a child at public school, it generates $1.60 in economic impact. So
Mhm.
the money's circulating, right? Like the dollars that go into it, it's generating some sort of growth, right? But people just view it as, oh, why are they getting something for free when it's not benefiting me, even though it benefits overall the local and city
Yeah,
economy.
people look at the surface and do no due
Right.
diligence on anything. It's just like, oh my goodness, bro. Like if you just do it. So I'm like, dude, like sometimes I have like conversations with my conservative friends, even though I still have conservative friends. And, you know, I literally share my screen and I just do a quick ChatGPT search. I'm like, all right. Or just any kind of Google search, right? I'm just like, all right, I want you to look at the facts that I'm putting in front of you right now because it's like, dude, like, yeah, look at the facts, not
Yeah.
just the surface. It's a big thing. It means a lot, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That economic aspect is that's one of the most complicated things to try to balance that and try to
yeah,
find something that everyone's comfortable with. But I think at the end of the day, that government investment in programs that do allow people to be more livable. And obviously, I'm not saying that, the government should go give away all their money to everyone for free. That's not what I'm saying. But
of
that
course
type
not.
of, yeah, yeah. But that type of investment, it does propel the economy forwards. And it's a good investment. I mean, it's going to create more in the long run too, from my understanding at least. I mean, I'm not an economist, but yeah.
You don't have to be an economist to understand that it's obvious that investing in the people's education, in their well-being and their health is a net benefit to society. It's like, dude, my dad always said, like, bro, when you have a healthy society, they can work more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about, you know, hospital bills and, like literally the food supply and like the outside environment that makes you unhealthy.
Yeah.
When you have a livable environment that provides health, naturally you're not going to get as sick.
You know,
Naturally, you're
I
not
Yeah.
going to take as much time off of work.
I
So,
think that's why so many people come to New York City. I mean, education is definitely a big part, but I
yeah.
think I forget where I read this. I'm not sure if it's 100% accurate, but New York City is one of the best educated cities in the US, right? So companies come here, they open
Yeah.
up offices, right? And I mean, that creates jobs, it creates incentives. Like for you would not have gone to school in New York City at all if it
Yeah.
weren't the
100%
best
not.
city to get a job at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
we're we're both students in finance, so New York City is like the finance capital of the world, basically.
Mhm.
At least we'll
Yeah.
see for the next 50 years. But like,
Oh God. Dude, oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't even get into what's going on right
yeah,
now. It's like
yeah,
honestly too
Yeah.
overwhelming.
I'll say the one thing that I've been finding really positive is I think that there's this new like cultural zeitgeist in the 2020s to people are starting to realize that America is profiting off purposely breaking and making people unhealthy because by not investing into certain things, people are going to come back and need more products and more fixes. And people are starting to realize, I think, especially with all the health things that we were talking about, that doctors, they're not always looking to heal your real problems. They're looking to give you temporary fixes. And that is what's making the healthcare industry so profitable and ridiculously lucrative. So
Yeah,
I think that finally people are starting to realize that we do kind of have a broken system that keeps profiting off of mistakes.
absolutely. It's the gym of life. Bikeability is the gym of life.
Yeah.
It's supposed life is supposed to be active. Life is supposed to be fulfilling. It's like it's really hard to feel fulfilled when you feel like everything is a 10-minute drive away.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like back to the community thing, it just destroys your community because it's like, first of all, you're creating an environment where drivers hate drivers. Drivers hate cyclists. Cyclists hate drivers. Pedestrians hate both of them. So when you and everyone's separated. There's separation, separation, separation. And when you separate everyone into their own 6,000 pound metal box, you don't see their faces. You're pissed off at them because they cut you off. You're
Yeah.
pissed off at them because they're looking at their phone and the light turned green.
Yeah.
It's simple things that like we can just engineer out of society to literally make a better environment, to have community again. It's like
Yeah.
craziness. It's so obvious too, I feel like. I feel like to so many people it is, but so many people it's just like, oh,
Yeah, the road rage problem is definitely a real one,
people
especially
getting
if,
killed all
if
the fucking
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Oh,
especially in the
oh,
South.
not even to mention the car deaths, okay?
Yeah.
Not even like this, like that. We're not even talking about safety at this point. We're talking about livability, community. Bro, safety is the number
Yeah.
one thing that it gets overlooked because that's what I think is a great talking point for people who disagree because
Yeah.
you have to because they are very fear-based, and you have to
Yeah.
kind of appeal to them with the same kind of fear that your kid is going to get run over by a truck or
Yeah.
you can't bike safely because there's no bike lane. And it's like, yeah, you can do the fear mongering with anything, but yeah, I'm going to do the fear mongering with urbanism. Like we're
Yeah.
like the number two cause of death in children in the United States is vehicle deaths
Yeah.
and then behind guns.
Yeah.
So it's like, tell me, you tell me. It
yeah,
makes the most sense. And
Yeah,
like
it's
people
crazy that
just,
cars are the second cause. I mean, that's ridiculous. And also another argument that I think people forget to mention is like for especially when you're appealing to young adults, like which city is going to be easier to go out in? The one where you have to have one person DD and figure that out, or the one where you can walk over to the bar, have
dude,
some drinks, walk over to some restaurant, open all night, you can take the subway around, like and completely basically eliminate drunk driving deaths too. I mean, that's a big problem too.
it's such a disgusting, it's such a disgusting problem that we literally create. We
Yeah.
create it. And
Yeah.
it's so depressing because it's like, dude, like especially in Florida, bro, like so many kids in high school that I knew, like there's like
Yeah.
4 kids in high school that died
Whoa.
and all from drunk driving, and they
That's
weren't even
crazy.
behind the wheel. Yeah, it's just like it affects people, and that like I think I made one video of like the whole influence of this on drunk driving, and it's so obvious because it's like I don't even have to go into detail. I said you probably know someone that has been affected or not yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, look at the
Look at the
look at the
news.
stat.
Open the news. How many times do you see like student killed in tragic drunk driving accidents? Like all the time.
Yeah,
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 it's terrible.
it's ridiculous. And yeah, like I can just imagine like if we had like just trams or like cool buses that like look cool
Yeah,
and like all the buses in Portugal, 100% electric, right?
really.
Yeah. And
Wow.
then on the insides, it's like super clean and like they're quiet. It's like I was literally sitting in traffic next to a public bus, and it was so loud, and there was corporate ads plastered all over it. Morgan and Morgan, injury lawyer bullshit. I'm like, dude, like that you can't. And the tires are bald. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you can't tell me that this is the best that we can do. Like
I think
for real. Like,
I think the best buses are the ones where you can't even see out the window because they have the ad plastered over it. Like you have to look out of the tiny circles.
I
It's
was about to say,
hysterical.
you guys get a lot of those in New York.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's I mean, I've been taking buses since since I could remember, home from school basically every day.
Yeah.
And it's completely different. I mean, I've been to a lot of cities across the country,
Hmm.
but I'm going to reference upstate New York because I've been there the most. You could wait as long as you want for a bus. It's not going to come, like ever. You're just going to be outside, just rain, snow, sun. You're just there. You're
It
better off
doesn't work.
walking. No,
It's
you're
an
better off walking.
embarrassment. It's an
Yeah.
embarrassment to the American people. It's
And
like,
back to what you were saying about the cars. I'd seen the statistic that there was like a exponential spiral in the amount of people who are purchasing SUVs and pickups. And the reason is because they want to feel safer on the road around bigger cars like SUVs and pickups, right? That's why
exactly.
Ford recently, or not recently, they stopped making sedans. I don't know if they reintroduced them, but right, like people want to feel safe on the road. That's very clear, but they're doing it in like the worst way possible for
They're
pedestrians
doing
and
it in the
cyclists.
opposite
I'm gonna
way.
buy a tank so I could feel safer next to the other tanks instead of
It's
just
like, it's like, okay.
yeah, like
I
Okay,
actually
I'm glad we're doing this.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's
I
just,
saw one that you made about I think it was a Japanese pickup truck and it was like this
mm,
big and
yeah,
you said it had the same size bed as
yeah.
the big F-150. That was crazy
It's
to
so
even think,
true.
yeah.
6 foot beds, man. And the thing is, most of these people who use trucks for stuff, it's like, farmers and stuff that
Yeah.
are just
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
stuff across the property. It's like you talk to any farmer, they're using one of those Japanese pickup trucks or like a small like Ranger
Or
or
like a
something like
Ford
that.
from
They're
the
not
80s or
using these
something
fucking
like that.
A
F-20. They're not.
Raptor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
No, that's just so they can put the flags at the back.
yeah, it's just like, I'm not gonna lie, there's some that are kind of tough, but like
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
it's like it's a vanity thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
You know, you
strictly
you you
vanity.
use
It's
it to
like
haul
my
your
rims
like
are bigger than
your
yours.
Best
Like
Buy TV from 3 years ago, right? And that's about it. And
exactly.
then every other time you're just driving around in like a glorified. I mean, in reality, all you're using is the actual cab of the car majority of
Yeah.
the time. And I don't
Hmm.
know, people have uses for them, but it's gotten so insane. And I don't know, I could look out my window right now and I'll tell you that like 9 out of 10 cars are all SUVs, right? Like
Yeah,
you don't see any
absolutely.
sedans anymore. No one feels safe in them. And you can only imagine how pedestrians feel, right? It's just probably way worse.
Yeah, it just goes hand in hand when you have cars that are 6,000 pounds on
Yeah.
average. It's like you ever see those videos of like people crossing the street with like a brick in their hand?
Yeah, yeah. I was actually just
Tell me
gonna say,
that's normal.
right.
Really?
In
Like this is what we got to do to just walk?
when I had gone to Orlando, terribly designed city, by the way. I hated
Yeah.
it there.
Oh my God,
Awful.
Orlando's the shittiest place in the world.
I believe me, I know. I had gotten there, and my family and I were going to Universal. This was like I must have been like in eighth grade, right?
Hmm.
But we get there and we're trying to cross the street. There's just no crosswalk. We're like, what do we do? Are we walking? Are we pressing a button? Do we
Yeah.
just like pray? Like
Yeah.
what's going on, right? Like
Bro, in the meantime, like, you get the green light and motherfuckers don't care.
no,
Like they're
they
literally
don't go
just
through
turning
it
right on
anyway.
red, like
Yeah, it's
regardless. They don't care.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
No,
had a
it's
crazy experience like that. This break, I was going to the mall, and the parking lot's completely full, of course. So
Mm.
so there was another one that you had to park at, and so I drove down there, and then I'm trying to cross the street, and when I say street, it's like probably 7 or 8 lanes. Like it's pretty much a highway, but with a crossing in between. And I'm standing there just like hitting the button, waiting. I must have waited 6 minutes like for it to finally turn white, and then it's like all of these cars, like probably 100 cars just
Mm.
stop and it's like everyone's just looking at me just crossing the street. It's ridiculous. Like,
Dude, and that's the public humiliation part of it
yeah.
too. It's like you literally feel like you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, no,
You
it's
feel like you're
ridiculous.
doing you feel like you're doing them a disservice by wasting their time. It's like, dude, I'm just trying
Yeah.
to live,
Yeah.
you know? So it's so backwards and it's like it's the public dynamic of how that affects your relationship with the people that you live with in your community. It's like people look down on you if you don't have a car. People look down on you if you have a
Yeah.
bike and
Yeah.
you use your bike, you know? So it's a very wrong way to think about that. It's like you look at the richest countries in Europe, like the Netherlands and Norway and yada yada yada. It's like, dude, like everyone's riding their bikes because they like it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like they like it and they're having a great time and there's like no traffic. And arguably, this is the part that really pisses me off from car people because I'm a big car guy too. I love cars.
Mhm.
I've always had an affinity for cars, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sick of seeing your Toyota Scion on the road. Okay, I want to see cool cars on the road,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
only want to see cool cars on the road. In the Netherlands, they've engineered all the brokies off the road. So all you
Yeah.
have is great cool cars like in Geneva and
Yeah.
like
Oh, dude,
like you
yeah.
know what I mean? And then also it's much pleasurable to drive.
Yeah.
It's way better to drive in one of the in countries that are urbanized because there's no traffic and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
safe. And they have lights that have AI detection things that like are boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, you tell me.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like even when we were talking about the trucks, I was thinking, well, they're not convenient, but at the same time, like I wouldn't want to ban someone from having a giant truck. Like if they want to have a giant truck, let them have the truck. But if
It's
we
freedom of
incentivize
choice.
people, yeah, exactly. But if we incentivize more people to bike, and then the people that want to have the trucks can still have the truck, but less people are going to want to do that as a result. They're just going to be the best option because
Mhm.
everyone's going to be able to do whatever they want. And the people that want to walk now, like if I want to walk across the street to the mall. I'm going to be able to. I'm not going to have to, stop 8 lanes of traffic to do that. And yeah,
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier because like
yeah,
once you give the people the option to bike safely or the option to just walk around and just be in the courtyard with your
yeah,
homies, da 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 da,
yeah,
it's like naturally you're engineering out a lot of traffic on the road and a lot of people like, dude, there's trust me, you're gonna have people in cars regardless. It's inevitable. People like
yeah,
cars. I
Yeah.
like cars. Everybody likes cars.
yeah,
But when you make it a luxury when you make it a necessity instead of a luxury,
yeah,
that's when it's kind of hard because it's like look, if you think about it, cars were a luxury.
Hmm.
They're
yeah,
supposed to be a luxury. It's like, all right, I can have my own private transportation.
yeah.
But when you burden the average American with hundreds of dollars a month in insurance fees and payment fees and maintenance fees and yada 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 yada, like it's
And I saw something that said I think the majority of cars now are now like financed or on loan, right?
oh my
So
God, dude.
everyone's paying their
Yeah.
their interest
Biggest
payments.
bubble.
Yeah, yeah, and
Ugh.
it's beginning to crash, right? Like I think I saw the amount of auto repos increased like some 20% or something like
Oh,
that.
dude.
So like if there's a mass layoff, let's say just in one community, right? Like the Amazon warehouse lays off everybody. What happens then?
Dude.
Like no one could pay their car, and then what? Everything's screwed because everything's designed around them. There's no alternative
And
for anyone.
like most of these people, dude, like they're literally going to work just to pay for their car.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like, dog, it's like if you took that one expense out of your life, like trust me, bro, like you'd be pocketing so much more
yeah.
money,
You could
It's a
put it
so
towards a
much
substantial
house.
expense. It's
so
a
much
big
more
expense.
disposable income for
Yeah.
the average person. Like disposable income will grow, economic output will grow. And it's a very simple concept that people just don't
Yeah, it's
understand.
definitely not cheap. And the fact that everyone needs it is kind of insane because there are a lot of people that are struggling to pay for their kids' food, to pay for their house. And on top of that, they have to have two cars, one for them, one for their wife. And it's like, and the insurance costs, I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you get in a car accident and then
And
just to
then
be
you're
admitted
fucked.
into
Yeah,
Trickles.
the
you're
hospital
Yeah,
is
royally
like a
fucked.
billion dollars. It's like,
Yeah.
bro.
it's yeah, yeah. That's
Like it honestly, what really kind of like one part of like this that really triggered me into making content like this was my brother. He got in a life-threatening car accident like 3 to 4 years
Shit.
ago. And he got hit by a semi, or no, he got hit by a F-150 going 75 miles an hour.
jeez.
And
Wow.
luckily, he got hit on the passenger side. He had a lacerated aorta, broken hips, broken, everything. Dude was
Wow.
fucked. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at that like, that's my brother. And
Yeah.
these are people Like people, this happens every single day. It's not just a headline. It's people's
Yeah.
families. It's people's brothers. It's people's fathers. It's people's sons. And like, dude, it's a oh, dude, it's just like fucking so obvious that it's a safety thing, man. We got to have a safe
Yeah.
environment for our kids. We have to have a safe environment for our children in the future, dude.
Yeah. I was
So
also going to ask you, I was
he's
also going
fine
to
now,
ask
by
you,
the way,
yeah,
just to
yeah.
let you know.
Okay, yeah, good. That was the first thing I was to say.
No, he's good.
Also, yeah, about the content, I was going to ask you, what do you think it is that made you grow so fast? Because I've seen you get crazy amounts of views, and I think you said you started like 2, 3 months ago, right?
Yeah, I started posting
Yeah.
on Instagram about 2, 3 months ago. I started posting on TikTok on July 1st.
Uh-huh.
And I think what made me grow so quick was, first of all, volume. I've been posting like once I saw like on my birthday, it was July 1st. I made a video about uh it was like this is the outside that we've created, right? And that got 750,000 views. And then I was like, "Oh my God, people resonate with this." So
Yeah.
I was like, I might as well just start going to parking lots, start yelling at shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, once you start making content and you start getting a little bit of like feedback and comments saying
Yeah.
that, "Ooh, wow, you know what you're talking about." It's like, dude, I don't know what I'm talking about, but like, it makes me feel good that you think so. And
Yeah.
then it just like it kind of get it's kind of like an addiction, man. Like honestly, like, once you start getting a little bit of feedback, it's like, all right, I want more, I want more, I want more. So volume first of all, and then like I've literally been posting like 4 or 5 times a day, like clockwork. Not even clockwork. It's just like whenever I have an idea, just boom,
Yeah.
done. Um,
Yeah.
but also, I feel like it's a very easy to digest message. And that's why I feel like a lot of people in the urbanism space, especially, don't have a lot of people looking at them is because they're afraid to be they're too worried about being professional and they're too worried
Yeah.
about being like very like, oh, these are the facts. It's like, motherfucker, they don't want to listen to the facts. People
Yeah.
don't want to listen to facts.
Like
They want to
single
look at
staircase versus the
objective.
double staircase and the elevator design. It's just so complicated. I mean, even I
It's
struggle to grasp it sometimes. It really is.
Yeah, and it's like, the whole concept of like, looking at the bus stop. It's like this is just not right. It's like
Yeah.
everyone can say that,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
Right.
can agree with that, It's very obvious to see. So
Yeah.
like I feel like taking a message that is very, very, very complicated and dwindling it down to very easy to digest messages and clips
Hmm.
of obvious fraud and
And
abuse and waste.
that's a good way to introduce people to it, right? Because
Yeah,
they see your videos and they maybe do their own digging, and then they end up in the
exactly.
like the denser
Yeah,
material.
like and then they go to
Yeah.
not just bikes.
Right, of course,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But
what's like the end goal?
for me, I would love to, my whole thing is sustainability, right?
Mhm.
And all I truly want to do is create communities uh through, like bringing I want to so essentially I want to build a community of like a group that I can develop with. So I want to bring on architects, I want to bring in engineers, I want to bring in agricultural experts, horticultural experts, permaculture experts, engineer like wastewater engineers, solar engineers, people who know sustainability through and through. And I want to create essentially start with maybe like a fully passive off-grid Airbnb community, leverage that money into like a real pocket neighborhood,
Uh-huh.
right? With like maybe like 3 or 4 small mixed use kind of things with like agriculture aspects.
Right.
And then you take that concept and you leverage it out to bigger developments once you can prove that these things are viable options for living.
Right.
And eventually, like my goal is to create essentially pre-planned communities that are completely passive. I want regenerative farming. I want the cleanest water production. I want food production. I want goats, chickens. I want a clubhouse that people can go and learn how to cook food in and cook the like and where kids can learn how food get like how real food is created and how real like I want bike lanes everywhere. I want small little third spaces within the community. And I really want to establish a luxury concept that harnesses net zero capabilities. And and then once I have trillions of dollars, I can start lobbying Congress because
Yeah,
at the end of the day, like you need money to do this shit.
right.
And I think that money buys influence and real estate is where you make real money. And I think that if I can figure out how to organize a team, finance it correctly, and execute it, I feel like
Yeah,
that's that's going to be a very powerful vehicle
yeah,
to allow people like me to have influence on, government. So,
yeah. And real estate is definitely a good thing to be into because it also creates generational wealth. I mean,
yeah.
when you pass away, your kids are going to get your houses, your properties that you own.
Yeah.
So it's an easy way to ensure that essentially the next generation doesn't fuck it all up, which happens a lot when of people that do get really successful.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And like, like real estate, real estate, like you can make money like just buying up Section 8 rentals and just renting them out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You can buy, you can start flipping bullshit houses, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But like, I feel like creating, like just doing something
Like a lasting effect, right?
that makes an effect on people's thought process. And then, they understand the concept of like independent living and not having to have your power or your water or your, livelihood being tied down to external factors. That's the real thing I want to like end up influencing. That's what I want to influence is being able to be sustainable and live sustainable. And I think that if I get a group together of the right people, I think that we can leverage debt in a correct way to eventually create lasting impact and then snowball that motherfucker from there.
yeah,
So I mean, you guys are in finance. You know how debt leverage works.
yeah,
It's
Yeah,
like once you get the ball rolling, it's like a freight
it's
train.
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah. So it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's why all these companies get so huge. It's like, oh
right.
my God.
Exactly.
yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And I think the more that efforts like that start, the more that people will start to pick up on it. Like you were saying, that snowball effect, it's going to keep going. And eventually, hopefully one day we'll live to see like truly walkable regenerative communities that aren't relying on, someone else trying to ruin your life for profit. And once that expands, I think that having that with the benefits of living in America that we are fortunate enough to have would
Yeah.
make it absolute unparalleled experience.
Like, dude, I'm such a patriot, bro. And it
Yeah.
just breaks my heart. Like
Yeah.
it literally truly breaks my heart because it's like I talk shit about America all the time.
Yeah.
But oh my God, I love America and
Yeah.
what it should stand for and what it did
Yeah.
stand for
Yeah.
and what it's supposed to stand for. And that makes me feel like I can really change things. Like just having these conversations with you,
Yeah.
like I hope to God whoever, listens to this is just inspired. Like if I inspire one person, man, like that makes me happy,
Yeah.
because it's like that's the change that you want to see in the world, like I was making decent money in real estate before I got into this. And like I think I told you I had a political like disagreement with my broker or whatever. And I had like $3 million in lead generation, like that I was going to close on within the next year. But we had an argument, we fell out of touch, it was bad, and she owned my email, she owned my phone number, she owned my CRM. So all of my
Wow.
leads got taken away. So at that point I was like, dude, if I
Is that
if I can
legal?
if I can run that up in th like 3.5 months doing door to door, hey, let me sell your house, I can always fall back on that. Like I'm
Uh-huh.
always going to be able to come back to that if I need to. But
Right.
if I don't take a chance on myself making content that I care about, I'll regret that forever, especially when I'm
Right.
young,
Yeah.
because it's like I don't want to be 40 years old screaming at parking lots, you know what I mean? I want to be 40
Right.
years old building communities. So I feel like getting this out of the way and just getting this message out there so I can capitalize on it and really put it into something that I truly believe in, that's what I care about. That's all I care about.
I couldn't have said it better myself. For everyone, if anyone is listening, hopefully as we expand and we continue to scale this operation, one person out there can help people like us contribute to the mission and eventually grow bigger and
Well, I
bigger.
mean, you
That's the
guys are in
goal.
finance. I mean, eventually you guys are going to be getting out of school and you guys are going to be, thinking about what you want to do. And honestly,
Yeah.
like, let's get together.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Like
should.
we
Yeah.
definitely have similar interests. We have good ideas and you guys are we're the future,
Yeah.
And we have to take it into our own hands because these
Yeah.
these geezers are ruining it for us.
Yeah,
So
I think a lot of people now, a lot of young people are too scared to do something. I don't know whether I don't know why that is, but people are scared to take a stance for the things that they believe in. I feel like there's not enough efforts and like civic efforts or real passion. So it's refreshing to have this conversation with you and see that there's someone else looking to accomplish same things that we are.
yeah, I was about to say it's good to talk to other young people about things that matter,
Yeah.
and see that like at least there's some people out there with the head screwed on
Yeah.
right. So it makes me feel good.
All right.
And thank
Well,
you guys
thank
so
you.
much for
Yeah.
having me. Like
Yeah,
honestly,
no,
Yeah.
like we should do this more often.
We
no,
should.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
This has been a very,
Well,
very, very cool experience with you guys, and like thank you guys so much. I really appreciate
yeah.
it.
Thank you so much for coming on here.